Hey, how are you doing? It's your girl Twala, aka Sister Cole. And you know what I need you to do? I need you to subscribe to my page. So, how are you guys doing? I hope that you all are doing great, beautiful, and all of that good stuff. So, today I thought I would show you guys how to make curry steamed fish Jamaican style, okay? And of course, as you guys, get to know me, I put my twist into all of the little dishes and stuff that I make. Okay, so we're going to get started, all right? So, first of all, I am going to wash the fish, okay? And I had went to Whole Foods earlier today, and I went and got a whole porgy. That's the fish that I will be using. You can use whatever fish that you like, any fish of your choice you can use. But I will be using, I bought whole porgy, okay? So the very first thing that you have to do when you are using any meat at all, any meat, okay, but we're dealing with the fish, you have to make sure you wash it, okay? So that that you get all, anything that's on there that's not supposed to be on there, you get it off. So I use several things, okay? But today I'm going to be using this right here. This is lime juice. And you can get lime juice in basically any grocery store. You can get lime juice, okay? I don't, honestly, there's no particular brand. You can get any brand juice that you want to get. This right here, I think it's called Bagopo or Bagopa, okay? But like I said, I'm not loyal to any lime juices as long as it's lime juice, okay? And then you know what else I do? I also like to use here it goes. I also like to use salt. I use salt as well because I want, salt is gritty, and I just want to, it's probably just me, but I just want to feel, that grittiness on the fish or any meat that I'm washing off. Because I just feel like it's, I'm really getting it clean that way. Okay, so that's what I use. All right. So I had the whole porgy cut into, like steak pieces, and I also have the head as well because my husband also likes the head of the fish. Okay, so I have the head of the fish as well. I bought two, but I'm not cooking all two today because they were pretty big size fish, so I don't really need all of it, but I say I got about maybe 6 pieces. All right, so I washed it off with the lime. See, there it is in my bowl. I washed it off with the lime and the salt water. So that is the very first step that you do. And this is what, the piece look like. See? And then there's the head. So you have to make sure that's the very first thing you do. All right, I will be back. Okay, so our next step is the prepping of the food. All right, now, I didn't want to bore you guys, so I went ahead and I prepared the vegetables and stuff that I was going to put in the fish. So I will tell you what everything is, all right? And you just know that you just have to cut it up, all right? Get yourself a sharp knife and you cut up all the vegetables and stuff that you need, all right? So for this dish that I'm making, which is the curried fish, I'm doing curried fish, okay, with okra, and I'll show you everything that goes in it. So it's curried fish, okay? You guys understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm making, all right? So I'm going to be using okra. So you guys, can you see the okra? I'm going to be using okra, and the okra is cut up in small, diced in these little small pieces, okay? And I want you to know I did wash my hands, just in case you out there talking about, no, she did not put her hands in the food. Yes, honey, I did. And that's because I washed my hands, okay? Let's say it together. Wash your hands. You don't want to be out here making people sick. All right, so with my very clean hands, I touched the okra. All right, so we're gonna put some okra, all right? And also, you know, guys, I'm just starting out with the videos. So, you know, I'm learning as I go, and I'm trying my best. You know what? Big shout out to the people that do this, because I'm telling you guys work, because this is a lot of work. You understand? W-E-R-K, work. But anyway, this is what the vegetables look like, all right? This is on my cutting board, and I cut them up, all right? Did not know how to position the camera so you can see it sitting on the counter, so I have to bring it to you, all right? And I'm by myself. I don't have no help. My grandbaby usually helps me, but she went out with daddy. But anyway, that's neither here or there. So what I got is I have I have peppers, you know, sweet peppers on this board. I got the green and the yellow. I have onions. I have a white onion and I have red onions cut up. I have thyme. This is thyme. And I also have, my garlic. I have about, the onion was like half white onions, half red onions, okay? And then I got my fresh thyme. I got about, you know, a couple of pieces, about 4 or 5 pieces of the thyme. I have also some garlic cut up. I used about 2, you know, pieces of the garlic. And I also have ginger. And the ginger I used about like 2 quarter pieces, like, you know, the size of a quarter. So I cut them up real small. So that's what my board looks like. Has the green and yellow peppers, and I love, listen, you can pick any color peppers that you want, okay? I just love it for the color, all right? So you can pick any ones, but I got green right here, green and yellow, and I have a whole white onion, a half of white onion cut up, and I have like a half of red onion cut up. You cut them in, you know, nice size pieces, not small, but again, you can cut them up as small or as big as you want, because it's gonna dissolve anyway, okay? And like I said, I have the ginger, the garlic, and the thyme, the fresh thyme, okay? So you guys saw that. Along with my okra, these are the ingredients that I'm going to use, okay? And I will also be using this, the seasoning, the Maggi sauce. This is the all-purpose Maggi sauce, all-purpose. The all-purpose seasoning. It's the Maggi, okay? So that's what this is. This part of it is torn off, but that's what it is, okay? You usually can get this like in your grocery store, the Caribbean side. Got this, yeah, on the Caribbean side. That's where you could usually get it. And I will also be using garlic powder. You can use any brand that you like. This right here is the Badia, okay? You can use any brand that you like. That's garlic. And then I'll be using onion powder. Let me tell you, if you don't have no onion powder in your cabinets, get some. Because baby girl, this wakes up. This wakes up the flavor in your food, okay? And then I probably also, we go over here, throw a little tidbit of salt and pepper, not a lot, because the Maggi all seasoning is, you know, kind of salty. So you don't need much, much of the salt and the pepper. You just put like, you know, maybe a little less, like a little pinch of it. All right. And also, I'm gonna be right back. Give me a minute. You guys, right there, and I'm back. Boom. Pimento seeds. Okay, pimento seeds. See that? I'm gonna be using this also. It's allspice. It's allspice. My husband says pimento seeds, so pimento, so that's what I be saying, but it's allspice, pimento. So I'm going to be putting that in as well, okay? All right. All right, I wanted you to see the vegetables that I'm going to use on the board, you know, so you could get a nice visual, because I don't think you could see it when I was holding it up. But you see the green peppers, yellow peppers, the white onion, red onions, my thyme, my garlic, and the ginger. Okay, that's ginger, garlic, thyme, white and red onions, yellow pepper, green. You see that? And then that was the okra. Okay? All right? And these were the seasonings. Okay, the whole spice, allspice. That's the black pepper. That's salt. That's onion powder, garlic, Maggi all seasoned. Okay, so that's what we are using along with my fish. Along with my fish. Okay. All right, guys. Now I have my fish. Okay, this is my fish, right? And what's on the fish is all the seasonings that I had showed you guys earlier. Okay. Okay. All right. So what's on the fish is all the seasonings that I showed you earlier, and I'm mixing it up. I'm making sure that my fish has all the seasoning, which was the onion powder, the salt, pepper, the Maggi all seasoning sauce. So I'm making sure that I'm rubbing my very clean hands on every piece of the fish. See, it's in the bowl, and I rubbed it on the fish. You guys see that? Rubbed it on the fish. Okay. All right. And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put that fish inside of my Dutch pot. My Dutch pot is hot with oil. Okay? You don't put a lot of oil. You just put enough oil to grease the pan, you know, so that the fish can brown. So you don't do it like you frying, you know, chicken. You don't put that much oil. You just put enough oil to kind of cover the bottom of your Dutch pot, okay? And this is called browning. You're browning the fish, okay? Giving the fish color, all right? You're giving the fish color, because the worst thing in the world is to, like with any meat you know that you're making, depending on the dish that you're making, you should brown it. Because you don't want, you know, a nice dish and your meat is looking white, like uncooked. It's just sitting up there like boom on your plate, like just blah, like, you know, no. So you brown the meat and you put it in the pot, a hot pot. Now the best pot that I love is a Dutch pot, okay? So let me show you. All right, guys, so now what I'm gonna do, this is right here, this is what you call a Dutch pot, okay? And in this Dutch is a very thick pot, all right? Everybody should have a Dutch pot in their kitchen, because the Dutch pot is the truth. You know, it doesn't burn up your, you know, your food, and when you're frying, it is so, you know, it's thick, so it gives the, it gives the meat, it fries the meat very well. Because some of these pots, you know, your meat and stuff can burn up and all that stuff. Even some of these very expensive pots, the same thing. But a Dutch pot is so good. Now, I have the oil on inside of the pot because I'm browning the fish, like I told you, right? So you make sure that the oil is very hot. You have your wooden spoon, you stick it inside to test it out. If the oil bubbles up on the spoon, that means the oil is hot enough and ready for your fish, okay? And you're gonna make sure that you put your fire right now. I'm gonna make sure we put the fire like on medium to low, because we don't want the fish to burn up. And we're not, you know, we're browning the fish because we want to get the fish color. So we're not really frying the fish, we're browning the fish because we want the fish to have color. So look, I'm gonna stick the fish in, okay? I'm putting the fish in. Now remember, I put the seasoning on my fish already. The seasonings that we spoke about. They're on the fish already, okay? So now I'm browning my fish and I'm putting the fish in the pot. Okay? So I put in all my pieces in the pot. I only have my fish heads left and I'll put them in afterwards. Okay? Okay. Now what I'm doing, now I didn't mention the curry seasoning yet. And I know somebody probably said, I thought she making curry. Fish, where the curry? Well, I didn't mention it on purpose because I didn't want nobody to mess up this part right here. What I'm doing now is called roasting the curry powder. All right, so I have my curry powder in a pot, just the curry powder. You see that? That's about maybe 6 7 spoonfuls. I'll tell you the honest truth, I really don't work with measuring a lot because I kind of like know the dishes that I'm making, so it's like all in the head. But for the purposes of just trying to show you guys what to do, I'm doing my best. It's about 6 cups, okay? And what I'm sorry, 6 spoonfuls, 6 to 7 spoonfuls of curry. So this is, you see what this is? This is toasting a curry. So the curry is in the pot, just curry. I've got the heat on low because I don't want to burn the curry. I'm toasting the curry. And, you know, my husband was telling me that it's good, you know, that you have to watch out when you're dealing with this curry. And it's very true because if the curry is not cooked well or prepared well, it can really it can make your stomach hurt. And, all right, so this is what the fish looks like once it comes out of the pot. You see the fish? It's brown. See the nice color that it has? So it's brown. It's nice and brown on each side. I'm touching the fish with my clean hands. It's nice and brown. You see that? That gives a color. So that when we put it in the pot to cook it down, it just doesn't look like a, you know, uncooked meat. And then when you put it on somebody's plate, it's gonna look beautiful and not look like uncooked meat. Okay, back to the curry. What I did was I added some oil in the pot on top of the curry because now I'm getting ready to make the gravy for the fish. And let me tell you something. I am known for my gravies. You understand? When I cook meats, when I'm doing curry, goats, oxtail, check my Instagram page, Miss Things One, Twala Cole. When I do my meats, honey child, baby girl, baby boy, let me tell you. It's nice. It's rich. Nice. Rich. Tastes so good. Let me tell you, if it's a meat I'm cooking with the bone, trust and believe. It's so flavored, so good, you're going to want to suck on the bone. That's how good it is. That's the way you want to cook your food. You don't want to cook something and it just doesn't have no flavor and doesn't have any taste. No, it's a no for me. As a matter of fact, it's a hell no. The worst thing that you could do to me is to put something up on my plate that looked like it wasn't cooked. You understand? All right, so I toasted the curry. Now I added my oil. And the oil that I put in there, maybe like 3 to 3 spoons of oil, because you don't want to. We ain't frying chicken, but you're preparing to make your gravy. Okay, you are preparing to make your gravy. All right. Okay. Now this step, you put your vegetables inside of the pot with the curry that we was just browning, and you're gonna put your vegetable, everything, the onions, the thyme, the garlic, the ginger. You put it all in there, right? And we're going to also brown this. We also brown the vegetables as well. Okay, and we're going to put the little whole allspice. Remember the allspice? Now make sure you add your allspice up in there as well. So you're going to, what you're doing now is you're browning it. And you're going to brown this pretty much until it kind of liquefies or gets kind of like soft. And this you want to be cooked because all of this is the flavor of your fish. You understand? You don't want to like call yourself cooking any meat or you cooking your fish and don't have no flavor. You know, just because the fish is cooked don't mean it's going to taste good. You have to make sure that it has a great flavor to it. So you see that? See how the vegetables are kind of liquefying down? All right. So you do this part right here. You do it about, say, 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. You sit there. All right. And I got my fish head is in here. See that? Now I'm going to turn my fish head over. And you see how the Dutch pot works? The Dutch pot, look at that. Dutch pot is wicked, I'm telling you. It immediately, your fish, some people when you frying fish, your fish fall apart. Well, we're not frying it, we're browning it. But either way, brown or fried, some people, you know, your fish, you know, falls apart. You know why? Because you got to make sure that pot is hot at first. That's number one. Number two, you got to have a good pot like this Dutch pot. Okay, so after about 3 minutes or so, I added my okra. I added my okra in. Okay, that was the last thing to go in to the pot was my okra. Okay, so you mix it as well. We'll make sure to get some of that curry on it. Okay, you guys see? Yo, trust and believe me. If you was in my kitchen right now, the smell is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Bree, how's it smelling? Okay, she can't answer. She got her headphones on. But she ain't have her headphones. You guys would have heard her. Woo, baby. All right. You've got to make sure. You see that? Listen, you got to take time when you cook. You can't rush it either. You cannot rush. You got to take your time because you want it to taste good. You want to have pride. Pride in what you do. Okay, now what I did was I added some water in my pot. See that? I added water. Now you don't fill up the pot with the water. It's not like, it's like maybe a half a cup of water. Okay? That's in the pot, a half a cup. All right? And you turn up the heat a little bit, like on a level 4. It's like a medium heat. A level 4, you turn up your heat, okay? And you add the water in, right? And you're stirring. All right, you're stirring that in. All right, now not only are we going to add water, but we're also going to add, you guys, coconut milk. You can use any brand, okay? Any brand. And now I know you probably like, coconut milk, really? Maybe somebody is like, ew. Ew all you want. This is a very important step. Don't miss this step. Do not miss this step right here. Because this right here, this right here is what brings the gravy, the curry, all together and gives you a very nice, thick, rich sauce. Get into it. Get into it. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Let the church say amen. Oh, my goodness. I cracked myself up. All right. Also, at this point, this is going to cook down. Because we added water, you understand? Some of your seasonings, you understand? We have to wake up some of the seasonings that we put in there. So what we're going to do is some of those dry, let me talk right and stop playing around. Because somebody look at this video and be like, why is she talking like that? You're going to use some of your dry ingredients, okay? This right here is the onion powder. You see that? I'm being generous. Generous. You understand? Okay? I'm being generous with it. You see that? And as you know, look at this and you fix it more than 1 or 2 times, you too will know how to, hook it up the way you want after you get used to it. This right here, that's the Maggi. You see that? I put that Maggi up in there. And you see that I was generous. I was generous with that. You see that? Okay. You guys pray for me. Like I said, the people who do this on a regular or been doing this for a while, my head go off to y'all. If you guys could see me in this picture. Yo, I'm like holding the phone, reaching over to the counter. Yo, I'm getting exercise. Trust me. If y'all could see me, you would be laughing. All right? So I added those flavors in there. Okay? All right, and stirring it up. Okay, so at this point, I have turned the pot up. All right, to about 7 or on a to like medium high on a 7 and 8. Okay, I've turned up and I've added the fish. See, I've added the fish. All right, and just kind of like try to put the sauce and stuff over it. Okay, you don't want to mess with the fish because we're going to cover it with the top and let it do its work. Let it do what it do. Let it do what it do. Make it do what it do. Make it do what it do. Yo, it was the woo 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 for me. Woo woo woo. Come on, let's say it together. Woo woo woo. All right. So you put the over there like that, so. And then guess what we're going to add, you guys? This is the last and final touch that we're going to add. If I can find it. All right. The last and final touch. All right, hold on. The last and final touch is a Scotch pepper. Scotch bonnet pepper. This is very hot. All right, but what we do is we're going to also lightly just lay it in there so. All right, we're not going to make it burst. We're not going to let it burst open. Okay, I'm not even going to chop off. I didn't cut it because I just want it to kind of like, just give it a little sting. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it the fish to be hot of pepper because I can't enjoy food that's hot of pepper. But my husband, he loves pepper, so I just put that in there so he can get a little sting. little steam. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to cover it up. And that's how you do it. See? Looks good. Cooking up nicely. Boiling. You do this for about a good 10 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. And guess what? That's it. That's it, because it don't take fish long to cook. You don't want it to be, melt out in the pot. Okay, so that was the curry fish. And let me tell you something. It tastes so good. Delicious. Let me know in the comments how, how you like it if you decide to cook it one day. And how does it look to you? How do you think the process was? Let me know. I want to hear something. Can somebody please give me a comment? Bye.